blown compressors, exploding lines, interior dashboards completely ripped apart. Most truck owners think automotive air conditioning is foolproof. You buy a can of refrigerant, hook it up, blast it into the system, and get back to driving. But the truth is far more precise and far more expensive, because in reality, some of the worst damage to modern pickup truck climate systems doesn't come from age or wear. It comes from maintenance mistakes most drivers repeat every single summer without even realizing it. And by the time your vents stop blowing cold, the damage has already cost thousands in parts and labor. Today, we're breaking down the exact reasons why most truck owners are servicing their AC systems wrong. Some of these mistakes silently choke your truck's fuel economy. Some of them introduce toxic contaminants that destroy aluminum lines from the inside out. And some can take a perfectly functional system and turn it into a catastrophic mechanical total loss in under 10 minutes. Before we begin, subscribe for more real-world truck insights, engine breakdowns, and mechanical warnings every week. Now let's get into it. Number 5. Blindly dumping part store cans without a real gauge set. This is the ultimate quick fix trap. Summer hits, your vents feel a little warm, so you run to the auto parts store and grab a generic all-in-one DIY recharge can. You attach the cheap single plastic low side gauge, squeeze the trigger until the needle hits green, and assume you're good to go. But servicing a modern truck AC system using only a low side pressure reading is like trying to balance your bank account while only looking at what you spent today. An automotive AC system is a precise dual-sided thermal loop. It requires monitoring both the low pressure side and the high pressure side simultaneously to diagnose system health. Modern trucks, especially heavy duty rigs from Ford, GM, and Ram, operate within incredibly tight weight tolerances for refrigerant. If you don't know what the high side pressure is doing, you have no idea if your expansion valve is restricted, if your condenser fan is failing, or if your compressor is already failing internally. Number 4. The catastrophe of overcharging and hydraulic lock. In the automotive world, more is usually better. More horsepower, more torque, more oil capacity. But when it comes to AC refrigerant, more is a death sentence. Modern variable displacement compressors are engineered to handle incredibly exact masses of refrigerant, often measured down to the single ounce on your underhood spec sticker. When you overcharge an AC system, you drastically reduce its efficiency. Instead of blowing colder, the vents actually start blowing warmer because the refrigerant doesn't have room to expand and drop in temperature inside the evaporator core. But the real danger isn't just warm air, it's liquid slugging. Number 3. Relying on quick seal additives that clog the system. If there is one product professional HVAC technicians hate more than anything else on earth, it's refrigerant cans mixed with leak sealant. When a truck owner discovers a minor leak, buying a $15 can of stop leak seems like a miracle cure compared to paying a shop to replace a hidden O-ring or a leaking evaporator core. But here is the science of how those sealants actually work. They are chemically engineered to react instantly with moisture and oxygen to form a hard, epoxy-like seal. The theory is that when the sealant leaks out of a tiny hole in your line, it hits the outside air and plugs the gap. But in reality, modern automotive AC loops are never perfectly dry. They naturally contain trace amounts of moisture. Number 2. Mixing refrigerants and ignoring the evolution of gas. The automotive industry has quietly shifted the chemistry of staying cool, and millions of truck owners are completely unaware. For decades, trucks built before 1994 used R12. Then, the industry shifted entirely to R134A, which became the standard for generations of classic work trucks. But if you own a modern pickup built within the last several years, your truck likely uses a completely new refrigerant called R1234YF. This modern gas was introduced to meet strict global environmental and emissions compliance standards. It is highly efficient, but it is chemically entirely different from R134A. The fittings on the lines are physically shaped differently to prevent cross-contamination, but cheap aftermarket adapters allow drivers to bypass these safety guards anyway. The oil to break down, lose viscosity, and turn into an acidic sludge that aggressively corrodes the delicate internal aluminum plating of your lines, evaporator, and compressor. Number 1. Forgetting the cabin air filter exists. This is the most common, most basic servicing mistake on the list, yet it ruins more truck AC components than almost anything else. When your truck's air condition stops blowing hard or takes 20 minutes to cool down a hot cab, your first instinct is to assume the system is low on gas or failing mechanically. So owners go out, buy tools, swap parts, or pay for expensive leak tests. But in reality, the entire issue is often a completely choked, filthy cabin air filter. Tucked neatly behind your glove box, this filter strains out dust, pollen, leaves, and outdoor debris before the air hits your blower motor and evaporator core. Trucks that spend time on job sites, farm fields, gravel roads, or dusty ranches can clog a cabin filter in less than 6 months. When airflow is severely restricted by a dirty filter, your AC system cannot transfer heat efficiently. The internal evaporator core behind your dashboard gets so cold without airflow that the condensation on its outer fins literally turns to solid ice. Once the core freezes into a solid block of ice, air stops moving completely. The compressor continues to run at maximum load, trying to cool a blocked block of aluminum, overheating the compressor clutch and causing it to burn out prematurely. Before you ever touch a valve, a can of gas, or a mechanic's tool, check the $5 paper filter behind your dash. When you look at all 5 of these mistakes together, a clear pattern emerges. None of them happen because truck owners are trying to break their vehicles. They happen because air conditioning feels like a closed, passive system that doesn't need the same precise care as an engine oil change or a transmission flush. But modern truck climate control is an exact science of pressures, weights, and specific chemistry. It is completely unforgiving to guesswork. Buying a cheap quick fix can, or ignoring basic airflow maintenance feels harmless in the moment, but over time, it slowly destroys a system that requires hours of labor to tear down and replace. Your truck is engineered to keep you comfortable in the dead of summer, whether you're idling on a job site or hauling a trailer across state lines. But that comfort relies entirely on respecting the tight engineering boundaries of your AC loop. The difference between an air conditioning system that blows ice cold for 15 years and one that turns into a $2,000 repair bill often comes down to putting down the cheap DIY store can and understanding how the system actually works. So here's the question: have you ever tried to use a DIY recharge can on your truck, and did it actually fix the problem or make it worse? Let us know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this technical breakdown, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more truck maintenance warnings and automotive deep dives. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.